Year by year, you as employers lose billions due to sick days, exhaustion, depression and burnout, as well as due to mistakes caused by sleep deprivation. Let me ask you something. If there was an agent scientifically proven to raise your employees' concentration levels, make them more cheerful, and thus less likely to make mistakes, would you want to have it? An agent that equally stimulates the mind and the body and provides them with vital energy. An agent that targets the very area of the body where fatigue and depression begin. The cell. Allow me to introduce to you doctor and biochemist Professor Georg Birkmeyer, who has developed a dietary supplement just like the one I described, NADH. Professor Birkmeyer, why is NADH of particular interest to corporations?
NADH is a substance endogenous to the body, where it fuels cellular energy production. The more NADH a cell has, the better it works. And when the cells work better, the organs work better. And when our organs work better, we work better. That means the more NADH we have, the more efficient we are, and the longer we are able to work without making mistakes. To, say, production plants, that is crucial. The fewer mistakes employees make, the more money corporations can save. That's why I believe employers should recommend NADH to all their employees.
Fatigue is a very subjective sensation. Is it even possible to measure it objectively?
Yes, it is. There's a device for it called the pupillometer, which measures the reactivity of your pupils. 17 infrared beams per second are targeted to the pupil, which reacts by contracting. If it's tired, it will contract slowly. If it's alert, like in the morning, it will contract quickly. We used the pupillometer to test NADH. When my employees were tired, the pupillometer placed them in the orange or red area, which means they would have been advised not to drive. Half an hour after taking 1 or 2 pills of NADH, they all moved to the green area. So, the pupillometer measures a person's fatigue objectively and is therefore also able to measure the effect of our preparation objectively.
We'd now like to invite you to watch a short video about the basic NADH product, Rapid Energy. Quick boosts of energy whenever we need them. Now that sounds like a magnificent promise. NADH Rapid Energy promises exactly that. It is an agent developed by doctor and biochemist Professor Georg Birkmeyer of Vienna. What is NADH?
First of all, I have to emphasize that we keep all our promises. We can demonstrate the effect of rapid energy after 10 minutes using various medical devices. So it's not a mere promise, it's verified to work. NADH is biological hydrogen that reacts with oxygen in all cells to generate energy. It's the fuel of cellular energy production. We have NADH in most of the organs of our body, particularly in our hearts and brains, because we need NADH. The more we have of it, the better we feel.
The importance of this substance has been known for quite some time, but it has long been impossible to stabilize it within the human body, enough for the body to actually use it.
Correct. That's why it was never applied therapeutically. To briefly tell the history, my late father was a neurologist who discovered L-DOPA for treating Parkinson patients. He had patients from all over the world, and with one of them, L-DOPA stopped working. So he said to me, "Georgie boy, go think of something. I paid for your studies of biochemistry." So I browsed the biochemistry textbooks and found that L-DOPA requires NADH. I gave him a vial of NADH from a laboratory in Vienna, and he injected it into a patient who wasn't even able to walk. Half an hour later, he got up and jumped around. Next, my father said, infusions are fine, but for my patients abroad, I need pills. Make me pills. That was easier said than done. It took us 4.5 years of research to find a substance that makes NADH stable for more than 2 years. We were granted patents for this development, which allowed us to conduct more than 20 scientific studies with such types of subjects as Alzheimer patients and Olympic athletes.
Apart from sick people and top athletes, who else can benefit?
The pills are useful for virtually everybody, but those who need them most are managers who are burned out and whose batteries are basically drained, so they suffer from depression and lack of concentration. Students at school might suffer from poor concentration as well, and many elderly people are demonstrated to suffer from a lack of NADH.
So, when I take this pill and it's like I'm running on rocket fuel, can I have difficulty sleeping because I'm so amped up and never get tired?
That's an interesting effect we observed with managers who suffer from sleep deprivation. They reported that they were finally able to sleep through the night, and that's because NADH stimulates the sleeping substances in the brain.
Is this substance on the doping list?
No, it's not. We had that confirmed by the German anti-doping agency and the Olympic Committee. Moreover, it never will be on the doping list because we have so much NADH in the body that it's impossible to detect the additional amount added externally.
That sounds very promising. Still, many might be worried about interactions with other drugs they have to take.
The question most people ask is, does it have side effects? I'm glad to be able to tell you that it does not. We were required to document that in various studies because we have more than 10,000 American consumers, and whenever an American feels a single side effect, they will have their lawyers write you a letter. All we got so far were more than 900 unsolicited letters praising the effects of NADH rapid energy.
I gather you are taking NADH yourself. What's it like for you?
I've been taking it in increasing concentrations for 10 years now. I've been energized for longer periods, I've been able to work longer hours, my concentration and memory have improved, and most strikingly, I've been very quick-witted. I think of things spontaneously that wouldn't have come to my mind 10 years ago. And that's not so bad.
Does this apply to remembering names too? Most of us have trouble remembering names.
It affects your memory for names too, though I have to add when people are not important, I still don't remember their names.
Well, I'm sure you remember this name, NADH Rapid Energy. But where can I buy it?
Basically, you can buy it from any pharmacy in Germany. Of course, as the product is rather new, pharmacies won't have it in stock yet. They will order it in wholesale, so it might take a week until you get it through your pharmacy. The quickest way is via our company in Vienna. We have a logistics center that sends the product to anywhere in Germany the day after you called.
Most recently, the preparation was sold out, indicating it is already very popular with those who tried it.
Absolutely. Even we were surprised by the sheer exploding number of orders. By July, we had already sold quite a lot, and by August, 3 times that amount, even though it was right in the middle of summer. At the moment, we are out of stock, but the good news is there will be new packages next week. We are happy to serve customers in Germany, Austria, and anywhere else in the world.
Many customers are used to taking energy drinks or caffeine pills to stay on a good energy level. Where's the difference between rapid energy and conventional agents?
Energy drinks contain caffeine, like coffee. Caffeine causes adrenaline to be released from our neurons. Once you have no more adrenaline in your neurons, you can drink as many energy drinks as you like. You won't experience a stimulating effect. NADH, however, has been scientifically proven to create energy within the cells. At the University of Graz, we incubated cardiac cells with NADH, which caused a 30% energy increase in each cell. Also, cell survival rates were doubled, which means that NADH is scientifically proven to slow down aging.
NADH is an abbreviation, obviously. Could you tell us its full-length name in all its beauty?
nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide hydride. My employees want me to cut out on my daily dose because it makes me so energetic and helps me remember every single thing even after 10 years. And they don't like that.
So, this wonderful agent is called NADH Rapid Energy, for employees only, not for bosses. Sleep deprivation is recognized as a method of torture. It is definitely very harmful to our health, not just when we need to work. According to your studies, how does sleep deprivation affect us, Professor Birkmeier?
Sleep deprivation causes a variety of problems. Let me start with aviation. Imagine that in the United States alone, there are 10,000 documented plane incidents on account of flight controllers falling asleep. That's about 30 a day. Fatigue is also responsible for 25% of all fatal traffic accidents. Moreover, many of the big disasters in recent history, including Chernobyl, Exxon Valdez, and Fukushima, have been demonstrated to be results of employee fatigue. More than 50% of the Western population suffer from sleep deficit. We conducted a study together with Cornell University in New York. Healthy volunteers, aged 30 to 40, were kept awake for 24 hours. After 24 hours of waking, the brain capacity was reduced to 50%, which is about the same as when you have a blood alcohol level of 0.2%. One group, however, received NADH. Their levels were not only better than those of the placebo group, but 4 times better than after a good night's sleep. That doesn't mean you shouldn't sleep. It only means that if you have a sleep deficit, you should use NADH.
Many top-ranking managers who travel a lot suffer from jet lag, which is also a form of sleep deprivation. Others try to stay fit and work out, despite their constant tension on the job. Does NADH also help me when I'm jet-lagged or when I want to play golf or go for a run?
Jet lag is an even crueler method of torture than sleep deprivation, because it gives you a completely different rhythm. We conducted a jet lag study with Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. We had test subjects fly from California to D.C. overnight. One group received a placebo, the other NADH. We found that the group taking NADH were alert, performed outstandingly well in brain performance tests, and didn't feel any fatigue at all after their flight. This study was then presented to American television, where reporters didn't believe it was true, so they offered to repeat the study off their own budget. Interestingly, their results turned out even better than ours with Georgetown University. One reporter from the Wall Street Journal participated with the express goal of giving the study a negative review. He ended up writing an editorial on the impressive effects of NADH.
Well, journalists tend to try to disprove manufacturers, so I guess that's a big compliment for NADH. It also seems to me to be the only dietary supplement that has been scientifically proven to have a beneficial effect.
We are able to demonstrate the effect of NADH within 15 minutes using several medical devices, including the pupillometer I mentioned earlier. It's the only dietary supplement in the world whose effect is detectable 15 minutes after intake. Positive effects can also be demonstrated at the gym or in all kinds of sports. We tested the agent in top athletes and Olympic champions. I know now you're going to ask, is it doping?
Is it?
Both the Olympic Committee and the German anti-doping agency have confirmed it is not doping. It's not on the list of forbidden substances, and it never will be, because we have so much of it in our bodies anyway. Imagine we have 50 milligrams of NADH in our brain alone.
I did some research earlier, as one would typically do. I googled NADH and what did I find? There are loads of clearly copied products on the internet, a rash of rip-offs. What can you tell us about them, Professor Birkmeier?
NADH rip-offs pose a major problem because they contain little to no NADH. While these manufacturers surely fill NADH into their pills, it will have degraded after 3 months. It took us 4.5 years of intensive research to find a way to keep the substance stable for at least 2 years. The plagiarists simply admix NADH with some filler, press it into tablets, and call it the real thing. Our NADH rapid energy preparation is the only one that actually contains 20 milligrams of NADH, as it says on the label, even after 2 years.
If you are interested in NADH, please contact us. Contact Professor Birkmeyer. He has promised to answer every single one of your questions. Thank you very much for your attention.